Hi, and welcome to Seven Story Publishing. My name is Lisa Jakovsky, and I have with me today author V.H. Faolan. How are you doing today, V.H.?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. I'm looking forward to diving into your books. Can you tell us about your book? Summarize it a little bit, please, and your inspiration for it?
My current debut that's about to come out on July 11th is called Pathical. It's about a Pathical and a werewolf king that are prophesized to create a utopian kingdom together, and this prophecy is over 2,000 years old.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Are you excited for it to come out?
I am super excited, more so nervous, but I am definitely excited.
The nerves go away when you hold it in your hands.
Yes, I'm dying for that day.
That's like Christmas to us authors.
It really is. I see everybody else open their books and I'm like, I can't wait.
I agree. Can you tell us what inspired you to write this book?
I it started as just a fanfic for Twilight, for the Quileute tribe specifically. And then I was writing and I'm just like, you know what? I love werewolf books. Might as well just make my own werewolf book. And then it just went from there.
Can you tell us about the characters, who they are, your inspiration for them, please?
My MCs, Catalina and Giraffe. Catalina is pretty much me thrown into a book. And I know that's a big risk, but I just couldn't stop myself. I just wanted to throw myself in a book. And Giraffe is actually based off of the man that I hope to find one day, my dream man, if you will. Um, and it's just them finding each other, them having their flaws, and just coming together as one. There's also like some side main characters, if that makes sense. And they have their own quirks. Rain, it's Catalina's best friend, and Sloane, her other best friend, that's the witch that protects her. Just everybody just gets thrown into this big old mix. And it's just really interesting to write down because it's different to see the growth as an author. Like the readers, when you read it, it's different as a reader than it is for an author. It's like, oh my gosh, they're growing, they're blossoming.
I agree completely. And you said there's a prophecy. How does that fit in with the main characters?
Well, the prophecy, it's weird. They're just living their lives, doing whatever. Giraffe is older. He's about 562, 92 years old in that age range. I know that's a big jump. I'm just trying to remember. Upside down 9, 6. What's happening?
That's
But it's just when the prophecy was told, it's just something about Giraffe being the very tormented in his from this very beginning that he became a werewolf. He was tormented, brainwashed by his creator. But in his human life, he was this amazing man that had a life and aspirations. And his maker had just found him at the right place, right time. And with him, he's the catalyst he's the really broken one. But even though he's still broken, he understands that brokenness is his strength. Or well, he's going to come to find that out, that his brokenness is his strength, which ties into the prophecy. And that's a necessity for him to be a ruler for this kingdom, even though he doesn't feel very worthy of leading anything. And Catalina is morally gray. I wouldn't say she's the sweet one. She's more of she's up and down. As a pathical, there's a light and the dark side to them. And they could be either or and switch at any time. And it's based on their experiences, how hurt they are. So with her, she understands the more emotional side. Giraffe is still emotional, but not as in touch as he was when he was human, whereas Catalina is more in touch with her emotions, and she brings that out of him. And together they kind of balance each other's dark side and see each other for who they are. And that's what makes them great rulers. And this old magic, and there's obviously people throughout time that are the same, but for some reason, this prophecy specifically chose these two because they felt that the universe felt they were strong enough in this realm to handle what's to come.
Amazing. Can you tell us about the realm that they're in? What is a pathical?
The realm that they're in is actually ours. I decided it's another risk I took. We
Okay.
all want to live in this fantasy world, and there are books out there that do that. I just wanted to do mine a little different, and try to get it as close to our current reality as possible, even though we want to escape. As far as pathicals are beings that were created, well, they were more like born from the earth and magic all at once. Their story, in summary, is over centuries, all these groups of people that had different animal companions from different places across the globe, and other people that had magic, they would come together and be drawn to this specific place on the earth. And over time, that magic just kept seeping into that part of the earth. And some animals were left behind by their owners that wanted to go back to society. But there was more and more people, new different groups of people that kept coming back and leaving. It just kept going like that until one day, this village of people, it started with one woman. She had 3 animals, a bat, a goat, and a bird. And her friend and his wolf companion were worried about them. They hadn't heard from them in days. When they go to see them, the goat and the bird are gone, but the bat is still there with the woman, and they're knocked out. And then when they wake up, all of a sudden, she can understand what her bat's saying.
Oh, wow.
And the bat's not speaking any words. It's just making regular sounds and moving around. And then it just kept happening to more and more people that lived on this plot of land. Mm-hmm. And until it just kept going and growing, and pathicals eventually were just to the point where they could just be born from these people.
That's very interesting. Can you tell us about your writing process? Writing this world, writing the actual book itself?
Writing the actual book itself is always a challenge.
Yeah.
We do our best. But my process, there is no process. There's just write what you feel. Some scenes I will get stuck on in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to spend too much time on that scene because there's other scenes I could be writing. So if I'm in the mood for like an action scene, but I'm in the middle of like a very emotional scene, but I'm not in the mood for it that day, I'll switch the action scene and then come back to it when I'm ready. And it just keeps going like that. And I just plug things in like a puzzle piece, and it just comes together in this beautiful puzzle picture. It's amazing.
I love that. So you don't push yourself to write. You just do it when you're inspired. And I think that's the best thing to do. I feel like so many people kind of, want to do it a certain way, but, the way you want to do it that works for you is really the best thing to do.
Yes, absolutely. Some people, I have tried the organizational, but it just doesn't work for me in the way my brain works. Some days I envy people that can do that. Other days I'm like, you know what? Chaos. That's my middle name. Let's go.
I totally agree, because I hear my author friends say, I go on a retreat, or I'm writing this much and I'm doing writing group. I'm like, that does not work for me. Please do that. That's so strange to me.
I mean, I could sit there with some friends and we'll sit in total silence and just be writing. It's something about having that, knowing that somebody's on the phone with you, having that accountability. helps you if you're really, really stuck. Um, but that doesn't always happen for me. I just go with the mood, and obviously I have my mom's schedule, so I have to go all based off of that. But um, my feelings are definitely very deep rooted and pathical, and it just makes it even more raw and authentic when I'm writing it based on what I'm feeling at that time.
I love that. I feel like that helps so much to be able to write on what you're feeling or write on something that you know. How long did this book take you to write?
Oof, about 5 years.
Oh, wow. Was there any kind of reason it took so long?
Um, I I became a mom.
Yeah.
I did try to write while I was pregnant. I didn't
Mhm.
have morning sickness or anything, which was a random blessing. But
Yeah.
I definitely was very fatigued. I also was going through my pregnancy by myself. My husband was on deployment, so that was an emotional stunt for me. I was done. I was done by the last couple of months that I was trying to push out this book, and I'm like, I'm too emotional. Just let me eat my snacks and we'll come back to it when I'm ready.
I don't blame you whatsoever. It's going to be here, and that's super exciting too. How did you
Yes.
come up with the title and the characters' names?
The title was supposed to be part of the fanfic.
Uh-huh.
Um, but out of everything that I wrote, that title specifically for just a chapter was what stuck with me the most. And I was like, okay, I have to use this. I have to broaden it. And originally, Pathical wasn't even supposed to be a creature. It was supposed to be just like a like my own language, if you will. And I was like, okay, they'll have their own language, just not right now. Right now, we need to figure out what Pathical means. And it just made more sense for Catalina to be this creature that's born from the earth and magic rather than trying to force it into a box that obviously did not fit. Um, and as far as the characters' names, Catalina was actually what my mother was going to name me before I was born. And then Giraffe, that name also popped up out the blue. Came into the noggin, just said hello.
That's awesome.
Yes, thank you. It was a very random day that day. It was a wonderful day.
Definitely, because you got the name for your characters. And I love seeing how people come up with these names because they're so different and so non-traditional. And that's something I struggle with is how do I name my characters?
I the only advice I can really give is just do whatever you feel directly represents the character that you're trying to portray. I there's names that I just came up with on the fly because I'm like, I really don't want to go name searching right now. And then other ones I'm like, okay, he has to sound like he's made from the sun or from a planet.
I love that. You want them to sound a certain way. That's a great idea for inspiration.
Why, thank you. I tried to give as much advice as possible because I know how much of a struggle it is to just
Mhm.
do it.
100%, especially, when you've got life, trying to balance, family, work. Is writing and being an author what you do full time?
Say that again?
Is writing and being an author what you do full time?
Yes. Aside from being a mom, yes, that is my second full time job.
That's incredible. Have you always wanted to be an author?
No, I actually wanted to be a Olympic horseback rider.
That's very different.
Yes.
How did you get into the idea of wanting to be an author then?
Well, I guess it's always been kind of coded. I just didn't realize. I was brought up in a home where it wasn't art of any type wasn't really a logical career. It was more of a hobby or like a side hustle. It wasn't something that you could do yourself. So I loved English as a kid. And of course, I was writing the fanfic, which I wasn't really deep into, but like I did enjoy it. And I loved drama class, but I also didn't like to be up on stage. I liked to look at the manuscripts, and I've always loved movies and TV shows and how the story came together. And I'd always pick apart, I don't like this. I would do this. And I guess over time, I just decided, you know what? Let me try this path, see what I like. And I really enjoyed writing. I also enjoyed art, but I didn't enjoy art as much as I loved to write.
Amazing. So you kind of was always on the path to this and then just didn't realize yet.
Yep.
That's
It was
incredible.
it was a surprising time. I was just like, oh, okay. This is what I like to do. Cool.
That's amazing because a lot of people don't find that.
Yeah, I it's it's something special when you can be like, okay, I've tried everything. I'm not happy with what I'm doing, and then you finally just something clicks. And it's technically in the sphere. It's an art form,
Mhm.
but it's a different type of art form that I find I can do best and I feel more comfortable in than doing anything else.
That's amazing. What is your favorite thing about being an author and a writer?
Um, it's a difficult one
Take your time.
because I do love, creating the worlds, all that stuff.
Mhm.
I just, I love what I see in my head when I write. I like, granted, okay, the writing it down, it's nice to see the transition from the head to the page. But when I see it in my head, I'm like, this is awesome.
It's awesome on the page too, because then you're writing down what you see so other people can see it.
Yes, but honestly, I am writing a very immersive book, so I'm trying to make it as movie in my head type to the reader as I can. But in reality, when you're seeing it in your brain, like with my type of brain, of like very deep vision imagery, it's a different sort of experience. You even hear the music in the head, even though there's no music on. It's
Yeah.
it's a cinematic, awesome experience, especially when you're doing action stuff.
I love that description. And you mentioned action stuff. What was a favorite scene that you wrote in your book?
Ooh.
I know I haven't asked this question yet, so I'm actually very interested to see what you think. You're talking about immersive stuff, and we just had like Epic Universe come out, and people love stuff like that. Like you're making me very excited for your book. You
Right.
know, so I would love to know.
I'm very happy you're getting excited.
Yeah.
I'm, but it's hard to pick an action scene that I really love to write because there's one scene with all the witchy things, and you
Ooh.
got demons put into it, and there's demons throughout this whole book,
Oh, wow.
and they're all popping up, and then you got Catalina going through her awakening quicker than she should be, which if a pathical goes through an awakening too fast, they can die.
Oh.
So she's going through her awakening way faster than she should be. And when she's in danger, her wolf pops up and says, "Let me take over your body real quick," and just walloped this demon using her whole body. And it it makes, like, it's not like Catalina doesn't have fighting experience because she is a trained fighter. That she's that, and then she has this wolf that is also reincarnated, and this is her third reincarnation, but as Catalina's wolf. It's like a whole badass scene of
Oh,
just her kicking this demon's ass, and I love it. A car explodes. She uses her magic to shield from the demon goop. It's just chef's kiss.
I love it. It sounds like it. This is the type of stuff I love to read too. So it's making me like really excited and really interested to kind of see this world too.
I I also decided to do something different. I am trying to get as many sketch drawings of my own into the book physically.
I love that.
So that way you have some scenes, some of them are gory,
Uh-huh.
which is very different from middle school me, because middle school me did not like gore. Nowadays it's like, yes, blood, destruction.
Our taste change as we get older.
Yes. And I'm just like, "Ah, he could have cut his head off better. If I were this character, I would have done this." And I'm like, does this make me a disturbed person? No.
No, you're creative. You should see the book I just reviewed. That's nothing. He actually emailed me. It was like, I hope you're not put off by this one scene in the chapter. I'm like, no, it's fine. You're creative. You're a writer.
Yeah, I think if any FBI agent looked at our research history, they'd be like, she potentially might need to go to the asylum. We're not sure yet, but we'll check with our superiors just to make sure.
That's a compliment. I think that's a huge compliment. You really said like you're able to me, you're really making it so they can picture things. That's what it sounds like to me as also an author. So I think that's huge. I think that's amazing.
Why, thank you. I'm feeling more normal, quote unquote.
You
I'm still
should. This is your world, your view, your vision, Don't compare it to anybody else because this is you. And that's what makes it so beautiful and individualized. And that's what we need to focus on more, because I mean, look at things like Stephen King. He's got tons of gore and stuff in his too.
This is very true. His
Like,
works are next level.
yeah. Exactly. So it honestly sounds incredible. I'm definitely going to put it on my list for pre-order. Um,
Thank you.
anything hard about being an author and a writer?
Um, Aside from the scheduling, I think the one thing that's hard, at least for my writing, I think we all go through different emotions when we write. But when you're writing a book like Pathical, that's very deeply rooted in heartbreak, in betrayal, and lies, and your mind is purposefully twisted, and you don't know which way is up, which way is down, which way is diagonal. Um, it takes a lot out of you, and as a person that I suffer from trauma, PTSD, ADHD, depression, and anxiety, and it's a lot to take in all at once sometimes, but I cry through it, or I kind of like internally rage through it, or I'm just like, oh, this is beautiful. I'm just like getting popcorn while I'm reading. My characters like, oh my god, you guys are so cute. And
I love it.
it's just the emotional ups and downs, I think, is the hardest part for me.
I completely understand. I've been thinking about that the past couple of weeks too. And to me, it's almost like what actors go through. Like they're really getting into the psyche of their characters. And it's very different and very interesting. Do you enjoy it?
Strangely enough, yes.
It's like odd thing to enjoy, but it is something that makes you like feel good as you're doing it, right?
Yes, and it kind of makes me feel like a mental chameleon.
Yeah, like being able to work through things and also, get out some kind of like side of you that you need to get out because you get to be in this different world.
Yes, 1000%. I'm sometimes thinking to myself, is my brain purple and green right now, or is it red and blue? What color is it now?
I 100% understand, and I feel like as creatives, it can get misunderstood, so being able to talk about it with somebody else, it really feels good, to be honest, because I feel like some people just don't understand it.
It's definitely a unique experience for us, and I think we need to just embrace it more. Like, yes, we are grand creative weirdos together.
Exactly, like being different is beautiful.
Yes, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful world over here. How more people aren't over here, I don't understand. It's a happy life. It really is.
I 100% agree and understand that. I wish more people would too. They probably would be happier.
Yes.
We have about 3.5 more minutes left. Can you tell us what's next for you? Where can people find you? Find your book when it debuts?
You guys can find me on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok. And as far as my books, they're all available on my author site. And they're available for pre-order. My book is also on Storygraph if you want to add it to your read list and read the blurb and see if it is for you. My trigger warnings are also on my website. That's a big thing for me. And what's next for me is, after this book's done, I'm going to take a couple months off to kind of recoup. Book 2 is definitely going to be more of the mentally damaging and trying books, not just for me, but for the series that sets up the events to come.
Ooh, that sounds very intriguing. So this is definitely a series.
Yes, I already have the number set. It is 7 books.
Ooh, I love that. That's super exciting. What are your social media handles and your website?
My website is standby.
That's
It's
okay.
under it's under a, it's under a Wixsite name, so hold on. It's right here in front of me. Oh goodness. Okay, phone operate. So it is vhfallon.wixsite.com for my author site. And my Instagram and TikTok are author VH Fallon. And my Blue Sky is vhfallon.bsky.social.
Amazing. And your book drops in July, correct?
Yes, July 11th.
That is so exciting. Congrats to you. I'm definitely going to go follow you and put this on pre-order. I'm really excited because this just sounds so different, and I love things like that.
Yay, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us before we finish up?
Stay spooky and goring, my darlings. Always live the life of happiness, love, and laughter.
Oh, that is perfect. Better than my That is so cool. Something like that. Thank you so much, VH Fallon, for being here. I am Lisa Tchaikovsky with 7 Story Publishing. Thank you so much again, author VH Fallon.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.